Hey guys, and welcome back to another video. And today I wanted to do something a little bit different. Today I wanted to talk a little bit about the channel and my plans for 2025. Now, if you guys have been following me for a long time now, you know that in 2023 this channel was officially monetized. We hit 1,000 subscribers late last year, and there's a kind of a threshold system that YouTube has where you have to have 1,000 subscribers and I believe 4,000 watch hours before you can be fully monetized on YouTube. So yeah, at the end of last year I was fully monetized, and now it has been a full year, 365 days since that time, and I wanted to go over how much money I made on the videos that I post. Now, I generally post about 2 to 3 videos a week, and they're pretty long. But there's a little bit of information that I want to go over first before I go over how much money I actually made. So, on YouTube, there is kind of like a different payment rate depending on the type of content that you make. So, let's say that you make lifestyle content, vlogging content, or finance type content, right? The content that you're making kind of depends on what kinds of ads that YouTube's gonna play over your video. So if you're making lifestyle content, YouTube can play an ad for shampoo or anything like that could be sold in the home. And so because the content is very broad, YouTube can play a broad amount of ads in front of this content, right? So those content creators are going to have higher pay rates than somebody who's making content about something that is more niche, right? Like gaming. Gaming strictly has a very wide audience, but an audience that is watching a video about a video game, like guides or gameplay, they're really not interested in purchasing a product, right? So I know that a lot of YouTubers have sponsorships and that type of thing where they work directly with companies that fit their type of content, right? But it's difficult for YouTube to say this ad would go good with this video game. So usually video game content creators have a lower pay rate, right? And then on top of that, you have different payment strategies. So if your video is 5 minutes and less, you're not going to be able to run mid-roll ads, right? Because your video is too short to really capture a wider audience to watch a bunch of ads in between. So typically what YouTube likes to see is a video that I believe is 8 to 10 minutes long minimum to have a mid-roll ad in it. And you can have an ad at the beginning and in the middle of it, and you can enable mid-roll ads. Now, on my channel specifically, I don't enable mid-roll ads for the first few days that the video goes live because I don't personally like mid-roll ads. The type of content that I make on this channel is kind of like talking head content, when I basically just sit here in front of a webcam and talk to you guys about the game Star Citizen, Theorycraft. I talk about spaceships, that type of thing. So to maintain the continuity of the videos that I upload, I really do like them not to have a bunch of mid-roll ads in it, at least until the beginning, so I can get as much engagement as possible to be able to talk to you guys about the topics. Because the way Star Citizen works is things change very quickly and things get updated very quickly. So the first few days that the video goes live, if I'm covering something that's news related, for instance, that content is probably only relevant for the first few days anyway. So to be able to capture that engagement and talk to you guys about this topic is more valuable to me than making money, right? This is not my primary job. Obviously, I just do this YouTube thing for fun. That's why I think it's kind of interesting to share how much money I actually make from this channel with you guys, because I have gotten those comments in the past before where people have said, you know, I really like your content. I've been thinking about making a YouTube channel myself and getting into YouTube and making videos, but they're worried that nobody will watch them. I have to say to that, to those comments, is absolutely just go ahead and do it 100%, right? You're always going to second guess yourself, and you really don't know what type of content is going to blow up or not, right? Until you make it, until you post it, you can second guess yourself, but that, again, at the end of the day, it doesn't have to be great content. It doesn't have to be, you know, super high production. As long as you're getting things out there and building your community and developing your style, how you make videos, that type of thing, what you're comfortable with, that's going to be the first step. The next thing I would say is make content that you enjoy, right? So if you're going to put a video out there, make sure it's a video that you yourself would watch. I know there's a lot of people who say that they can't watch themselves or they feel awkward about it, but if you can't sit through your own video for however long it is, it's always going to be more difficult for you to upload it, right? If you're editing the video and you're done with it, watch the whole thing over, and if you enjoy it, if you're like, hey, this guy's cooking, this person's making some good points here, then you're going to feel a lot more confident in being able to post that. So again, it comes down to you know, really understanding the topic that you're talking about. Obviously, there are going to be some topics that are more lucrative than others, but if you don't really connect with that content and you have whatever expertise with it, it's going to be kind of a struggle. It's going to be an uphill battle for you to post. And so with this channel, I kind of said that, you know, I wanted to post 2-3 videos a week, and so I wanted it to be a structure and a formula that I could really keep up with that schedule, right? Of course, I could sit here and make very high production videos, but at the end of the day, it would be very hard to maintain. And I know that personally, it would be very hard for me personally to maintain that type of schedule, you know, because of my busy real life, you know, schedule. So basically know your limits and do all that type of stuff to make sure that you don't get burnt out and that it stays fun for you, because, you know, like you see with me, you're not really going to make a ton of money in the beginning, but if it's not about the money, it's not really going to be a big deal, and it's definitely not about the money for me. So with all that being said, let's just get to the interesting part. Let's get to the main point of this video. How much money did I make in the first year? Let's take a look at that right now. All right, so here it is. I have made $670 in my first year here on YouTube. You can see right there, 365 days from December to December, we've made $670. This is more money than I thought I would ever make here on YouTube. I'm very happy with this number. And I'm going to go into a little bit more details on what makes up this number, because kind of how the system works is that Google AdSense has a payments threshold where you essentially have to make $100 a month to actually get paid out. So I haven't actually seen all of this money. When you have good months, like last month, November was very good because of aUEC. I actually got paid about $150, right? So you have like an account that this money is held in until you make that a $100 threshold, and then you'll get paid from that. So, you know, don't freak out if you're on YouTube and you know, finally get monetized and you don't see any payments right away. It's kind of just sitting in an account waiting for you to make $100 before YouTube will actually pay you. So again, I think this number is kind of on par with what you know, my channel is about, and the monetization strategy I have for my videos. Again, I post pretty long videos. Most of my videos are between 15 and 30 minutes long, so I could cram a bunch of ads in there, but I'm just not interested in that. So I want to show you actually some of the analytics for my videos. So let's take a look at that right now. All right, so this is kind of a snapshot of my video analytics in my YouTube app. The kind of behind the scenes, when you have a channel, you get a bunch of analytic data, so you can, you know, be a more productive creator. And what I kind of did here is I just took a screenshot of it, so I'm not actually on the web page, because I don't want to accidentally leak anything important. You know, again, at the end of the day, it's not really a big deal to me, but I know, you know, I don't know if there's, you know, something that I might show by accident. So this is just a screenshot, so you guys don't have to worry about any of that. But right off the bat here, the top videos, Starlancer Max. You guys probably seen this one. This video has almost 10,000 views. Actually gained about 43 subscribers, and it made on its own $31, right? It had 75,000 impressions. Impressions is how many people have seen the video come up in their feed, and it has about an 8.2 impression click-through rate. So it's basically 8% of the people that have seen this video pop up in their recommendations have clicked on it, and that's how you get that 9,000 views. So out of 75,000 people that saw this video come up in their feed, 9,800 clicked on it, and an 8.2% click-through ratio. So about 767 hours watched of this video. That's a ton of hours watched. And you know, I honestly think this is a pretty good amount of money just from one video alone. Again, this was kind of my best performing video in this quarter. I believe this was like a 90-day. This is the kind of like my most recent video from the last 90 days, basically. And then next one we have is here the Zeus, another Starlancer video, new ships leaks, and it kind of goes down the list here. And you can notice that some of these videos have, you know, different amount of views to watch time, right? So you know, a good example I would say is probably this one right here. 5,600 views, 639 watch hours, and this one has 5,400 views, and it has 378, almost half, right? So you have you look here at the amount of revenue made. You know, they have very similar views, so they have very similar payouts, but you have very different watch times, right? So, and the reason for that is, again, because I don't run a whole lot of mid-roll ads. If you did, this video here that has almost twice the watch time would have made more money, because you would have ads running in between that. So you have a lot more opportunities for that person to see ads in that video, right? So I think it's really fascinating to be able to look at the analytics, the analytic data that you know, YouTube and Google sends to you. I think it would be kind of cool if you know, YouTube did like a kind of you know, YouTube Rewind, where they give you all the analytic data from, you know, your YouTube activity, like kind of saying this is the content creator that you watched most often type thing. You know, this is your top comment, the comment that got the most likes under another person's video, that type of thing, and give, you know, content creators the ability to share that with the community, and that type of thing would be kind of cool for YouTube to do. So that's, I guess, kind of my own little feedback. So now I kind of want to talk about 2025, right? And this channel, you guys have, if you've been following me for a long time, or if you just joined this year, welcome. For 2025, I am incredibly excited, right? We're gonna have 4.0 probably before the end of the year, and I think that Last year, CAG basically said that 2024 would be the watershed year for Star Citizen. That kind of hasn't panned out in the way they planned. I believe they plan to have 4.0 out during summer of this year, which there has already been a massive delay with that, and it really came down to silver meshing. And one of the things that I kind of saw the writing on the wall was that they really needed to do a lot more testing earlier on in the year if they really planned on having it out by summer. We really didn't see a lot of those tests happen until the end of summer, really. So it was kind of becoming obvious that it wasn't going to happen in the time frame that they planned on it, right? So that really sucked a lot of the energy out of this year. And now that 4.0 is coming out at the end of the year, there's a lot of features that got rolled back again because they had to spend so much time on server meshing and stability and how things are going to be, as well as there was a lot of delays and things that were being pushed back from the previous patches with 323 and 324. The cargo patch had a lot of issues, right? So those technical issues kind of kept them back from working on things like resource management, right? So CIG ended up having to cut a lot of features out of 4.0. Now, what that means for us is that those features that CIG cut out of 4.0 are more than likely going to be in 2025, right? In a .x patch. So that's, I guess, a kind of a lot of stuff that would have come out this year that would make it the watershed year for Star Citizen come out next year, right? And a lot of people, even if 4.0 comes out at the end of this year, they're not really gonna be fully introduced to the patch again until next year, because it's probably going to take a little while to get stable and for people to really jump in and enjoy it the way it's meant to be, right? So you might have the holidays to play around with it, and then next year is when they start to add in the new features and change things. One of the features that I'm most looking forward to is probably going to be the transit system refactor. Hopefully CIG improve the trains and elevators and that type of thing. And again, because of silver meshing, we do have better silver frame rates, right? So NPCs are more responsive. So if they refactor the transit system, elevators are more likely going to become a lot more dependable, and you're going to start seeing a lot of those game breaking bugs be reduced a little bit. Again, knock on wood, hopefully. I don't know, I don't have a crystal ball to say for certain that's what's going to happen, but just kind of based on the stability I've seen and the silver performance with silver meshing, I think it is possible, right? And then of course the higher player count is going to be great for the game. 500 players instead of 100. This is something that not a whole lot of people are talking about, but is a massive change for the game because it gives us the ability to gather up a little bit more players. Now again, there's still some limitations to how much one server can hold, but it increases the potential you have to come across other players and have emergent experiences. So that's what Star Citizen is all about. So that is going to be a huge increase for the community, as well as CIG showed off a lot of ships at CitizenCon. I know a lot of people looking for like the Ironclad and the Perseus. So I think 2025 is going to be a bigger year for that, because 2025 is where 4.0 is more likely going to be more stable, more playable, and you're going to have those big features like resource management and hopefully the changes that CIG plan on making to master modes and kind of backpedaling some of the stuff. Again, I hope the changes are good, and we might even see new features like base building. Again, no promises. I'm not entirely sure when that stuff is going to happen, but CIG has been showing off and they seem to be pretty ambitious about it. So I think 2025 is going to be more of an impactful year, if I can say that. I think this year, technically, there were a bunch of hurdles that they were finally able to overcome. But I think next year, could be a more lucrative year if they kind of focus on putting the game in the direction of stability, right? So yeah, I want to know what you guys think. If you guys are planning on starting your own YouTube channel, what do you guys think about the monetization structure on YouTube? I know that a long time ago, a lot of people were making a lot more money on YouTube than they are now, but you have to think about it, that there's a lot more content creators on the platform now, and there are a lot less advertisers, or kind of the same amount of advertisers. So there is, YouTube's got to spread that money out more efficiently, right? So I think that it makes sense that content creators are not making as much money as they used to. Really, what you want to do is you want to grow your community, you want to find your niche, and then you kind of have to go and find sponsors and that type of thing, sell merch to kind of make it a permanent thing. Because even if you were making a lot of money with ad revenue on YouTube, I still wouldn't really rely on that, again, because Google AdSense and the way that YouTube works with their strike system and their copyright and all this type of stuff, videos that can be demonetized, all this type of stuff, I feel like you're kind of putting your finances in the hands of someone else. This is kind of like you know an unstable way to kind of go about it. I feel like, again, the best way, if you're going to make a living on YouTube, you really want to go through your own sponsors, and kind of find a way to pay yourself independently, and then whatever money you make on YouTube is just gravy, right? So if you look at it that way, I feel like you wouldn't have to worry about a video getting demonetized. Now, when a video does get demonetized or is given limited ad revenue because maybe it has too much violence or cursing in it or something like that, then it does hurt its visibility on the platform. So a lot of times, even if a video is not strictly monetized by a content creator, they still like it to be so. Then YouTube shows it to more people. I know it's kind of a weird thing, but having monetized videos actually can help your visibility. The algorithm is not strictly a black box, but it is an enigma. But yeah, that's gonna be it for me here in today's video. Let me know what you guys think about all this stuff. Are you excited about 2025 4.0, the end of the year plans? I want to hear from you guys down below in the comments. I love talking to you guys and discussing this type of stuff with you. So like I always say at the end of this video, you guys, like the video if you liked it, subscribe if you want to see more videos like this, and I will see you guys in the next one. Salut.